ADR, this is King Black. In this video, I title it 12 people taken down for Junior, made possible by snitches. Now, besides the main perpetrators, the one that we've already seen on surveillance cameras in the bodega, the other people they are picking up that were not personally involved or directly involved, they weren't the ones holding the machetes or the knives, they weren't there that night, but the ones who were indirectly involved are getting picked up. And this is made possible, of course, by snitches. Now, some may argue that's good. Let whoever's snitching keep snitching, so they take more of these people out and they get taken down for Junior. Now, this is why I tell people, be careful about joining organizations. Whether people have been approached by Bloods, Crips, GDs, whatever your local organization is in your neighborhood, whoever you've been approached by, this is why I say you have to seriously think once, twice, 3 times before joining an organization. Because let's say out of the 12, 10 knew about what was going to go down and wanted it to happen. Let's say 2 did not know what was going to happen or didn't think that they were actually going to go through with it. But maybe they were in the same room with these people while they were discussing it. Maybe they were in the background chilling, listening to music, drinking alcohol, playing GTA, whatever, while this conversation, these ideas were being floated around. And for the simple fact that they were there could turn them into an accessory to murder, because they knew about it, but they didn't speak up to stop it from happening. So, in a lot of people's eyes, those people are just as guilty as the ones who physically held the knives and machetes that night and took out Junior. Now, even if this isn't the case, whoever is snitching is trying to save their bacon. They're trying to get less time, or they're trying to reduce the charge that they are facing by ratting out anyone and everyone that they know. And they may be giving up information or intelligence about other incidents that may have happened recently that cops are already investigating in that local area. And this is why I say, when you are in an organization, you have to be careful who you choose to let be around you and who you hang out with. If you're out there doing the wrong thing and people know you're doing the wrong thing and you tell them about it, or they've seen you do it, that stuff stays in their mind. And when something goes down with them, that they're going down on a sinking ship, they're going to throw you off that same ship. You may have had nothing to do with whatever they got busted for. But because if they think by giving you up, they're going to get a couple years off, or they're not going to get life, and they'll do 15, 20 years and still get out, or have the opportunity to get out, people are going, it's like somebody who's drowning. They're so scared that they're going to drag everybody they can with them, regardless if that person had any involvement in their downfall. And that's why I say, that is why ever since the beginning that I have been a Latin King, I have never been involved in criminal activity. I don't deal. That's not part of the Constitution of the nation. It has been distorted by greed, that it has, quote unquote, been understood that it's okay to be dealing, and that's not how it should be. Any Latin kings and queens out there listening should know better than to be slinging H or ice or cocaine or whatever the case is. I don't care how destitute, how poor you may be, or from what neighborhood you come from. You can't better your community by slinging the very thing that's destroying it. Because remember, while you're out there in that street corner, you have to be lucky every single day you're out there. The cops, the jump out boys, the 5-0, they only need to be lucky once. They just have to catch you on that one night. And you're gone. 5, 10, 15, 20 years. And you better hope that none of the associates that you know, if they ever get picked up for anything, that they keep your name out of their mouth. Because if they get brought down on a conspiracy charge for murder, or they get brought in for murder, or they get intent to distribute, any little crime that other people have seen, they're going to be quick to throw that out like word vomit to the detectives that are interrogating them. It has said many times, I don't feel that I belong to a gang, but to an organization, a nation. The way I was brought up when I became a king a little over 14 years ago, the ones, my superiors above me, my Coronas, my Incas throughout the years have always told me to be about school, to do the right thing, and to stay out of trouble. And I have been able to rep my nation, wear my colors, and know that I have never set foot in a jail cell. Because I'm not out there living in that primitive king stage. That primitive king stage is one of the first stages that every Latin king goes through, or Latin queen goes through. And that's the gangbanging phase, where you feel like you have to prove something to yourself and to everybody by saying, look, I'm hard. So you start doing dumb things. You start tagging on public buildings, schools. If you're in middle school or high school, you start tagging the walls, the lockers, the bathroom walls, the bathroom stalls. You start getting into fights, doing petty things. Because most of the time when people enter this nation, they are in their early teens. So they're not immediately out there committing assaults and robberies and stuff like that. And nor should that be your goal. You should not be out there looking to commit robberies or any of that stuff. I know for those of us who have had parents, because not everybody has had their parents. Some people were raised by foster parents or were raised by people other than their biological parents. But whoever was your guardian, I will hope when you were little, taught you the right things to do. To not shoplift, to not steal, to respect other people's belongings. You find something on the floor that looks like it's lost, you give it to somebody in charge or wherever you find it. You find a cell phone in the store, you hand it over to the manager of that store and say, hey, I found this cell phone on IOB, I don't know who it belongs to, whatever, and they put out a call. You know what I'm saying? You don't just say, hey, that's an iPhone 8 and we put that in my pocket. You have to be smart, man. This younger generation should be looking up to their elders. And those that are below me, I ensure that I lead by example. By living my life in such a way that they see that I'm not out there doing things like the media portrays organizations to be like. I'm not out there encouraging others in organizations to be out there doing drive-bys, shooting people they don't know, going out there causing problems. I'm all about mutual respect. There has been many a time where I may have been in VA or Texas or Connecticut, and I may have been wearing my beads and wearing my flag, and I come across a Crip in a gas station, in a mall, in a store. They're also wearing their bandanas. You can instantly tell, man. Real recognizes real. But more than 9 times out of 10, there have been no altercations. Because there has to be a mutual respect. I'm not out there dealing. If they're out there dealing, that's what they do, but I'm not trying to step on their business. I'm just there to do what I came to do. If it's a convenience store or gas station, I'm there to get my gas and leave. And yeah, there's a moment where, have you guys ever seen 2 dogs stare at each other and they get real quiet? And it seems like the whole world goes on mute. That has happened. But you look at the body language, you determine, and you can realize when that person isn't going to be a threat. If you're not out there opening your big mouth, because they obviously see what I'm wearing, I see what they're wearing, I know what they're about, they know what I'm about. But they see that I'm about my own business most often than not. You know, things are peaceful. And we don't even have to exchange words, man. It's all about body language and eye contact. You don't make yourself look like a target, but you don't make yourself also look like you're looking for trouble. You go into a situation where you both are some pit bulls, you both are some lions, you both are some badass MFers, and you leave it at that. You ain't trying to see who's harder, man. Because I don't care how hard you are, a bullet will pass through your body like pieces of paper. It's all about who can get to theirs first, who can pull the trigger first, and who has the better aim and where they get you or where you got them. Anyways, back to what I'm saying. I do not advocate living your life in an organization, participating in criminal activities. I've always been of the mindset, especially with the almighty Latin King and Queen Nation, that you can wear these colors, I can wear my crown, I can wear my flag, and not do any negative thing that will put me behind bars, and show the others that you can also be a part of this organization and stay safe, go to school, you can still get good grades, you don't have to skip school to be in this organization, you don't have to participate in dumb activities. Greed is the downfall of man. And you're ignorant if you think that people are not out here at the end of the day about trying to save their own skin. But if they ain't got nothing on you, your name ain't going to be on their mouth. If you're not doing anything wrong, they have nothing to accuse you of. And even if they made up some BS, when it comes down to it and they do an investigation, you're going to be cleared because there ain't nothing you're into. You know, I want kids from this generation to go back to how things used to be. You know, back in the late 80s, early 90s, we were all about respect the elders, yes sir, no sir. You know, we had children's programs with morals in them. We were taught to respect adults. You got kids out here that are 13 and 12 years old that aren't afraid to cuss out a 25, 30, 40-year-old. You know, it's causing a lot of problems, man. Kids are throwing their lives away for nothing. A lot of people have died over social media BS. Now, snitching is no good. Snitches are no good. But I'm just saying, that they wouldn't have gotten these many people had there been no snitches. So this is an example of, if you're part of an organization, to live right. Because maybe, like I said before, 2 or 3 of these people had nothing to do directly or indirectly with Junior. But maybe one of those people claimed that they were in the same room, and maybe they were or not when this stuff was being discussed. Maybe the cops are just saying that it's in connection to Junior, but they picked them up on other stuff that has been said in those interrogation rooms. But you best believe those kids right now are trying to save their own skin. And they know they're not going to get 2 or 3 years, but they definitely don't want to be put in Gen Pop. And they definitely don't want to spend the rest of their life in jail, because they already know what's waiting for them. You already know the sharks are circling and they're waiting for them to go to Gen Pop. My point is that you should be able to represent your organization's values without resorting to all the negativity that has been shown since the crack epidemic. You know, all this easy money, all this drug money has been what has destroyed many an organization. And not just gangs, but also motorcycle clubs, 1% clubs, also police forces, you know, dirty cops, corrupt cops. Not all cops are dirty, but there have been a lot of, you know, corrupt cops, man. Because it's easy money, man. It's easy, but it's not right, because all it takes is that one time. That's why they also call the cops one time. So all they need is that one time, and they can brand you a felon, and good luck getting a job after that. You know, you want to be the type of person that you can represent an organization, do nothing wrong, help out your community, be a part of your community, serve your community, or serve this nation, go into the armed forces. Still be able to get your concealed carry license, so that in the event you do have to defend yourself, wherever you are, you do it legally. Because even if it's a justified shoot, if you're carrying an illegal weapon, you're still going to catch a charge. So my point is, you know, you want to be able to still live your life like if you were neutral, though you are a part of an organization. But stay away from all of that negativity, man, because it is like a whirlpool. You get too close, it's going to drag you down too. So my heart goes out to Junior, man, because no matter what the true story is, because only God knows what that story is, but like I said, man, I don't truly feel that 99.99% of the people on this planet deserve to die so young, man. There's only a few exceptions, in my mind, of the type of people who should be executed. But when you have a kid like this who has lost his life, we don't know what he could have been, man. Whether he wanted to be a cop, what if he never became a cop, what if he would have joined an organization, didn't join an organization, what if he would have been a senator one day, man? What if he would have done something productive? What if he would have become a teacher, a professor, something that these kids need out here, man? Kids need something to aspire to. And that's not the cats doing life in prison. Because there ain't nothing to look forward to in there except ramen noodles. And that you could get at the dollar store like 6 for $1. You don't have to go to jail for some ramen noodles. You don't want to go to jail having a girlfriend, if you're a female, a boyfriend, or a husband, a wife, and worrying about what they're doing while you're locked up in a cell. Because if somebody's out there tapping it, you ain't going to be able to do anything about it. So you're trapped in the cell. So that's all I gotta say, man. Just live right. No matter if you're, DDP, if you're Trini, if you're Latin King, if you're a Blood or Crip, GD, SGD, and the list goes on how many organizations are out there, man. It's too many of them to list, especially in one video. And for the record, man, any color could be in a gang, man. Anybody can pull a trigger. You have kids out there in organizations already carrying a weapon, a firearm at 9 or 10 years old. Haven't even gone through puberty yet, but they can kill you just as easily as an adult. Sometimes better, because you're not expecting a kid to pull out a gun on you. So all I'm saying is, be careful who you associate with. And if you're part of an organization, be careful of the people you are around, the places you go to, and what's going on, man. At the very first hint, something negative going down, you should already be on your way out. You should already be on your way home. Say, hey, I got this to do, I got this project to do, I got, baby mama's calling me, whatever the case is, I gotta go deal with this. Because the last thing you want is to be wrapped up like these cats, facing 20, 25, 30, 40 years in jail, in prison. And on top of it all, being disowned by their organization. Which is even worse, because now they did it for nothing. On top of that, everybody's saying they got the wrong person, and some people saying they got the right person. But they did it for nothing. They did it in the name of something that the organization does not want to be associated with, because of the heat that has been brought to that organization because of this incident. They want to be like Pilate and wash their hands of it. I do not know them, is what they are claiming. Or like many of you trolls in the comment section say, their leaders are saying they were never Trinis. But I'm pretty sure you look deep enough in their social media, they got pictures that prove otherwise. So live life, man. There's more important things out there. You just have to realize the few incidents in life where physical altercation is necessary. And 90% of that time is self-defense, man. You shouldn't be going out there provoking nothing. Only time a gun and a knife should come out is in self-defense. And you should know the places that you go to. You should know the local area. You should know where it's okay to go by yourself if you're in an organization. People know you. You have to know the rules, man. Life is such a fragile thing, and it can end in a split second. Adios, King Black.